Abhishek, the slide is visible, right?
Yes, it is.
We have a good number of attendees, Abhishek. So excited to meet all of them and hear from them. Uh, let's see. Let's give one more minute and then we'll start.
Yeah, likewise. Sure.
Yeah. Let's start, Abhishek. Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Uh, we are here for EAC and Exchange Manageability Ask the Expert session. It's more of a discussion with our customers. Uh, you know, whatever questions that you have, whatever issues that you are facing in EAC manageability, whatever your wish list is of what these two teams, these two products should work on. Uh, Aditya is my name. Abhishek is from Manageability team. We both are here. Our team is here, and we are happy to take up the questions. We are happy to discuss the pain points that you are facing, and we are happy to know your wish list so that we can put it in our roadmap items and start working on few of them. So as I said, my name is Aditya Mukund. I am PM for the Exchange Admin Center. This is my Microsoft alias. Uh, I am in Microsoft for little more than 2 years now, and I am always excited to meet customers. It's always good to see the problems when we talk to them. It's good to see the problems that they face, and if you are able to resolve them, that's a great feeling. This is my email alias. Please note it down. Abhishek will be posting the aliases in the chat window also, but just wanted to let you know, please feel free to write to us after the meeting also. And whenever you are facing any issues, we would love to connect with you. We would love to understand what problems you are going through and so on. With me I have Abhishek. Abhishek, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Aditya. Hi, everyone. I'm Abhishek. I am from the Manageability Infra team. As Aditya said, we're both very excited to be speaking to you. We're really looking forward to your feedback on how we can make things better, how we can improve your experience, and also to help prioritize on our investments, long-term investments on both EAC and manageability infra side. So looking forward to the discussion.
Great. Thanks, Abhishek. So the session objective for the Ask the Expert is very simple. We would just take 8-10 minutes to talk about the session objective and whatever we have in the slides, and it's more of an open conversation with our customers. We have this feedback QR link. Please feel free to scan this QR, give us the feedback. There are hardly 15-16 questions ranging from EAC, manageability, and also admin suite overall. So you can just scan the QR while we are talking. We would love to connect with you after this meeting as well, so that data will help us. Uh, Coming to the session objective, we have two things in our mind, right? old EAC is going to get deprecated. We'll talk about it a little. And the good thing is that we have in new EAC 1.5 million MAU right now, right? So a lot of people are using new EAC, but we do understand that there are some inhibitors for customers to adopt to the new Exchange Admin Center. At the same time, we want to understand the inhibitors on V3 module adoption as well. So that's the first objective that we have of the on the session. We also want to take this opportunity to understand any additional needs, any new requirements that you have that these product teams should work on. And we will have this conversation. We'll try to understand those scenarios well during the meeting and possibly after as well. And yeah, we will make the right prioritization accordingly. So, uh, uh, Abhishek, if you can, send the feedback form link and the QR in the chat window also. I really encourage all of you to give us that feedback. Give us the right email ID so that we can contact you. And you already have our aliases. Feel free to reach out to us over email as well. Coming to the overview, so we presented a 40-45 minute session on EAC and manageability infra yesterday. The quick overview of whatever we presented is on this slide, right? New Exchange Admin Center has become the default home for a lot of admins across all segments. As I told you, we have 1.5 million users using it month over month. So that's a great number on new EAC side. And it's not only the number, but the customer satisfaction index has also gone up in the last 6 months. It has gone by plus 10. Um, we know that there are some issues with the new EAC. We would love to talk about that so that we can resolve it and help you with that seamless transition from old EAC to new EAC. We have added a lot of exciting value additions to new EAC. We have dark mode, which was one of the most demanded customer ask. For multi-tenant organizations, we have a feature called Tenant Switcher to help our admins understand the navigation, figure out the navigation in the portal and across the admin centers as well. We also invested in a feature called Global Search, which is already available to all of you. So those are the additions that we have made on the value add part. The main thing that we wanted to call out, which we did in the last presentation as well, is that in September 2021, we called out Classic EAC for worldwide customers will get deprecated in September 2022, which is this month itself. The updated timeline for Classic EAC deprecation is extended to 4 months from now. So the hello. Is there a question? Okay. So the updated timeline is January 2023. A new updated message center post and a blog will be with you in 10 to 12 days from now. And we will be sharing the updated timelines over the blog as well. That's on the EAC side. On the manageability infra side, we wanted to tell you that the new V3 module will be generally available in a week from now on 20th September 2022. It is definitely more secure, reliable, and performant vis-a-vis the RPS commandlets. If you have already started using it, you must have seen that already. But if you have not started using it, we encourage you to start using those and let us know what are the adoption blockers on that side, what are the problems that you are facing, and so on. The good thing with this new V3 module is that you don't need to modify scripts to adopt to these new commandlets. The commandlet name, the commandlet functionality remain as similar as RPS. So there is no extra work that is needed to be done on the admin side. Abhishek, I'll take a pause. If you want to add something on the manageability infra, let me know. Otherwise, I'll move to the next slide.
No, I think you summed it up well. Let's move on.
Great, great. I really encourage all of you. The QR is usually available in all the slides. We really want to hear from you. We really want to understand what the pain points are. Please, click on that feedback link and give us the feedback during the session and after as well. So the agenda is, we know that there could be, yeah.
Aditya, there's a hand raised by.
Okay. Sure.
So we could.
CQ. Yeah, CQ. Over to
Okay,
you.
real quick question for you. You said that there's no need to change your scripts. However, in my testing, I found several of the commands, several of the get commands return output in different formats than before. For example, at one point in time, it was a GUID and now it's a string. And that actually causes many problems with some of my scripts. So I'd love to just say, great, I'll implement the new script, the new module, but I can't because I have too many scripts that rely on, and in some cases, rely on that formatted output to be in a correct type. And it's no longer in the same type.
Yeah, no, CQ, thank you for the feedback. So this was in the preview version. We fixed this in the V3 version, the GA version that we would be releasing, and we had received similar feedback. Pallavi, do you want to describe some of the details on this?
Oh, I'd have to go back to my desk and look at the troubleshooting I did. I've got we have a lot of scripts that we do. I do most of our admin work via scripts, and there's checkout things that run on some run every 10 minutes, some run hourly, some run weekly.
Mhm.
Hey, CQ.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
go
so
ahead, Pallavi.
I think it would be good to get some more information on which commandlets you're facing this issue with. So as Abhishek mentioned, we do not expect any commandlets to have this issue right now. So please do reach out with the information and we'll definitely investigate this further.
Yeah,
I'm
and you
filling
have
out
my email.
I'm, I'm
Sorry, go
filling
ahead,
out the
please.
survey for you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, CQ. Thank you. Yeah. So the overall idea is, we don't have a lot many slides. We just wanted to cover the overview, and we want to open it for discussion, for the questions that you might have. Of course, few things that we already have in our mind. We know few pain points from the customer because you people give a lot of feedback to us, and we really thank you for that. We do read your feedbacks. We do try to reach out to you if the right email ID is given. Sometimes the email ID in OCV is given, but when we reply, it doesn't go to you. So I again encourage, please fill the form so that we do have the right email IDs, and in case we need to connect further after this meeting, we would be very happy to do that, right? So the overall agenda would be, we want this seamless transition from old EAC to new EAC. We want you to have that seamless transition to V3 module, and we would love to talk about the pain areas that you have, like CQ mentioned on V3 adoption. We will open it for the questions, and let's talk about what are the adoption blockers that you have, and we will try to fix them as soon as we can. We can then go to the wish list section about what was never available, but you would love to have that scenario lighted up by Exchange Admin Center or the Manageability infra as well. I'll take a pause here, and we are open to questions. Let's see, there are some things in chat, I feel. Yeah.
Aditya, Todd Nelson had a question. I've answered the first part of it related to the page refresh issue. I think the second one, the granular options on message trace, is something we spoke about earlier in the previous session as
Yes.
well. Could you take a look at that?
Yes. So, hi, Todd. Yeah, let me answer the second part. First part is what we are working on. Sai has already replied. More granular options to filter message trace. Just for my understanding, there was a very similar question in a previous session that currently message trace gives you two kinds of filter. One um, is and another one is, there is one more option I am not able to recall, Todd, but there are only two filter options that we have given, and you are looking for more granular options there. Is that the right understanding, Todd?
Correct. So
Correct.
the one that's available in, I think it's under the Compliance Center. There's a filter at the top of each column. or at least there was in the old version. And now there's only one filter, and you can't filter on any of the columns. You have one filter that filters that's pretty dynamic, but it doesn't seem to allow for filters on multiple columns. Like, say, if I wanted to check for delivered and a specific domain name, it's hard to filter. It seems hard to filter that unless you've got a trick.
Got it. No, Todd, so I'll suggest a couple of things. If you can just fill that form so that I can have the right email ID, if you can, or you can just write to me over an email, just, have the same concern written over the email. What I'll do is, there's another team that we work with who is responsible for message traits. A couple of customers already reached out to me for the similar thing. I have looped in the right folk so that, we can get that sorted. If you can also drop an email or just write the feedback, I will connect you to the right PM, and we will get this sorted. And possibly it's already on the roadmap. So, just fill the form or write an email to me, and I will take it up further.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Todd. Let's see. Okay, Matthew. See, with several hundred customers, and I'm trying to modernize. Okay, Abhishek, there is a question from Matthew Prentice. Do you want to take up that question?
Yes, so I've already replied to that on the chat. So yeah.
Great.
Just to reiterate, Matthew, multi-tenant apps might work there, but we need to investigate this a little more in detail. Would be great if you could either fill out the form or reach out to me over email, and we will revert.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you on that.
Thanks. Likewise.
Thanks, Chris. So there is a question from Maya. Is there a web page where we see which issues, wishes are already mentioned and their current status of the topic? No, Maya, we don't have any functionality per se, but that's a good idea. That if there are some bugs on the platform, if there are some issues, or if there are some roadmap items that we might have decided already internally, it would be really good to publish that as well. But there is no web page as of now. But yeah, thanks for the question. Let me see if we can do something, create a new feature that can help you that way. Okay, Andres has pasted a link which is of other features. Andres, what's the question here? Okay, I am not sure if Andres also had one question. Also, the get connection information is fixing the gap that was missing. I like the overview. What will be transferred? Oh, thank you, Andres. Yeah, we understood. I mean, we'll talk about few things that we done in we did in new EAC, but people were confused of the things because there were some features that are going to be in new EAC. There are some features that have not yet migrated to new EAC but are going to be new EAC, and then there were few features that have already moved out to other admin center, and that's why we spoke to a few customers. We got this feedback that can we have a page like this. We will be updating them as well. For example, there was one big customer concern which we are hearing is, where is retention tags, where is retention policy, where is journal rules, all these three compliance features, right? So the good news there, all these three features have moved to MS Purview. We will be updating the right links in the other feature page as well, Andres, so that we can help you navigate to these different admin centers where these features have moved to. Okay. Patrick, notice today with the new transport rules, add email that aren't either contacts or user. Is that an intentional change or an early preview bug? Patrick, I think it should be an early preview bug. We when we release that feature, we are getting a lot of feedback on the new transport rule design. There is another team that we work closely with on this. If you can just drop an email to me, Abhishek, you have already shared my email as well, right?
Let me share
If
it again.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Patrick, just write me an email with the same question, and I will loop in the right folk.
Keep saying, send me an email.
Hello, Chris. Yeah. So Patrick, I don't think it's an intentional change. It is an early preview bug. The team might be knowing about it already, but I will connect you with the right folk there, and we'll get this sorted for sure. It's a new design. We have released it 15 days back only, and we do expect a few bugs there, but hoping to resolve that concern of yours as well, Patrick. Bob, yeah, that's a great question, Bob. Uh, the the groups component has 4 different pivots now, and we do know that there is a limitation of not able to search across all group types. That's the limitation for that particular feature. There is no roadmap item to solve that problem right away, Bob, but we do acknowledge that it's an issue which is in our backlog, and we will try to see what we can do there. In the M365 admin center, the same issue was occurring. They came up with a design which will not work in EAC. So there is some engineering feasibility issue there, Bob, but we do acknowledge that that's an issue that we need to resolve for our customers, because classic EAC had a much better experience there, and I acknowledge that, Bob. But thank you for the question. If there is anything, if there is any roadmap item that we can create, and we definitely want to do that, Bob, we will keep updating you over the message center post for sure. The next night, support, try to call them to get something done. Much easier. Okay, Vince, it's very possible. So Josie Vince had a question, Abhishek, that in the next MEG, there should be an Ask the Expert session with MS support. We will relay that concern to the marketing manager, Vince. And in our previous session, we had some support PMs also with us. I am not sure if they are in this particular session or not, but yeah, that's a great suggestion, Vince. Had to add it through PowerShell.
Nino,
okay.
Bala, if you're there on the chat, could you please revert to that question? Yeah, go ahead, Aditya.
Yeah, so we have lots of questions. John, can you add message subject to the message trace dashboard? John, if you are still in the meeting, can you talk to me a little more on this? We know that there are some issues on message trace, and there are some enhancements that the team is making, but if you can just help me understand this issue a little better.
Yeah, so if you're searching using the message trace function in the dashboard, you can search by sender, recipient, delivery status, message ID, but you cannot, that I can find, do message subject. You must use PowerShell for it. But it'd be handy to have it there in the dashboard, especially for people who aren't familiar with PowerShell.
Sure, John. Just one quick question, John. Was it available in the compliance admin center, if you can confirm that? I mean, is it a parity miss on the EAC? Is the only question that I have.
A parity miss. I don't know what quite you mean by that, but basically, especially when you're checking for spam messages and indications of compromise, sometimes you may have only the subject being reported by users.
Okay. Sure, John. I don't have an answer to that right now, but that's a good addition that we should definitely be having. What I was asking, John, is that the previous message trace was in compliance admin center, right? My question is, did we have this functionality in compliance admin center message trace as well? Are you aware of that?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. No issues, John. So message trace, is it?
If it is okay. So it is not available since message trace was built. It was never allowed to search by subject. Only
Okay.
on-premises used to have. Cloud never had.
Okay. Got it, Satyajit. Thank you for the clarity. That's a good suggestion. Let me put it in the wish list, John. And I think we have got Barb, Michelle, and Josh also liking this message. That means that a lot of you are looking for this. So yeah, that's a great wish list for us to work on. Where can you see quarantine devices now? It is currently in EAC. Hi, Michelle. So, Michelle proper, it is related to mobile device management. That was a big feature. If you are looking for quarantine devices, and if I understand this properly, you go to mailboxes. Under mailboxes, there is a section for mobile devices. That's where you see quarantine devices. That's a feature work. That is a work in progress. By September end, we should be having that in new EAC as well. So currently it is not available in new EAC, Michelle, but by September end, you will be able to see the quarantine devices in new EAC, the similar way in which classic EAC had. And we will, in the deprecation blog, the updated deprecation blog that will come up in 10, 12 days, I will talk about all the new features that are coming to new EAC as well, so that the customers are aware of it. Giovanni, permissions awareness functionality, be able to configure compliance emails. It did not identify. Okay, so there is a question from Giovanni Essevedo. Permissions awareness functionality, be able to configure compliance emails to users in which it will tell them all current access to their mailbox and calendar. Allow IT admins to customize these notifications so that user can. Giovanni, are you on the call still? Not sure it or exclude, but okay. Abhishek, do you understand this question by any chance? Do you have clarity on the question that Giovanni has asked?
Let me read that again.
Mhm.
I think there are multiple parts to this, but would be good if Giovanni could explain. Let's wait, maybe.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
Was
yes,
running
there
around.
we
So to be able to send some sort of monthly, every 2 months, 3 months, depending on what we configure, a report to users in which it will pretty much just tell them compliance over their own content, like who has permission, send us full access, send on behalf, who has access to their calendar, kind of just like a report for them to be aware who has current access to their content and what is that permission, and be able for us to customize it in a way that when those communications are triggered, because I would think every organization has different processes, we are able to tell the users, if you don't recognize the permissions or you want to remove the permissions, click here, and we just can point them to a link to our own processes. And for us to be able to exclude two things, a few accounts, because probably we will have some compliance or legal accounts that we don't want users to be aware that they're actually being under some type of investigation, and to be able to exclude altogether a particular set of accounts, probably executives. So that way, becoming this can be built, but it's a little more time consuming to do it on the back end. If it will be easier if there's just a compliance functionality and we can create this awareness reporting to users. So at least every now and then they are aware of who has access to their content and they can take actions, and that will take away some burden from the IT as well.
Great, great. So Giovanni, thank you for this suggestion. We do want to work on few reporting scenarios that our customers are looking for. So thank you for letting us know that this could be one of the things that customers are looking for. I have your, I think, yeah, I have your email. Is it okay if I can contact you for getting more clarity later?
For sure.
Please, thank you. Thank you, Giovanni. Edwin, to be able to extract auto mapped mailbox list to check and remove. Satyajit, can you talk about the message that you have sent?
Yeah, I think it's more about me having access to a lot of shared mailboxes. It's very difficult for an admin to identify, right? Or if a user complains, I have a lot of shared mailboxes, please clean it up. We have to basically ask them, can you tell which ones you want us to clean? But from a backend,
Right.
there is a attribute in on-premises BL delegate list or something which stores it. Exchange Online, we do not have access to AD. So we can't check that attribute to figure out which mailboxes this person is getting auto-mapped, right? So it will be easier, handy for us to have that information. Like if I put a user, I get to know which all mailboxes is getting auto mapped, because that attribute has to be present in the mailbox attributes. Only then this auto discovery does the work and maps it, right? So that information, if you expose it to us, it will be easier and useful, and should not be, I feel it is doable. You have to just expose the content out to Exchange Online somehow, PowerShell or report or something. Because AD is locked down, we can't fetch from Azure AD.
Okay, cool. Let me put it in the wish list, Satyajit. But this could be another kind of a reporting scenario. And as I said, we want to work on few reporting scenarios, that make sense to our customers.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Bob is here. Another ask is to see history of who changed an item, whether it be a mail user or a group. Okay, so Bob, the question that you have is.
Yes, so
Hello. Yeah, so Bob, my understanding of the question is that, Abhishek, am I audible?
sorry,
Yes,
can you hear me now?
Yes, Bob. Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
sorry. Yeah, so we have, many administrators or, processes that manage groups or, change information in mailboxes or even, delete items from the GAL. It's very hard right now to see who might have done something without using Splunk or, other tools. It'd be great if there would be some add to the object that would show the like maybe last 5 changes to it and who did it in the EAC.
Right. Abhishek, so for example, if there is a mail user and there is a change in that mail user, maybe, the name changed or something, some attribute got changed. Do we have that in PowerShell? Do we have that capability already? If we can populate that in EAC on the UX?
I'm not
That I
sure if
don't
it
know.
exists. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is a good wish list. So let's make a note of this, and then we can get back over mail. I think we can.
So,
This is an interesting one.
Bob, I do have one question, a follow up on this. So you said that, say somebody changes things on groups, somebody changes things on mail user, but there could be a lot many other scenarios that you might be looking for the same history thing, or is it very
Well,
specific to groups and contacts?
right. And the other thing I just thought of was like if something gets deleted, track who made the deletion and when it got deleted.
Right. Right. Okay. Makes sense, Bob.
Hey,
This is a
Aditya,
good.
Abhishek, just to pitch in. So there is a commandlet, get admin audit log. So we store audit logs in the system. So I think this is something that could be used since you were asking if there's a commandlet. That could be.
But if it's not an admin, a person who actually is an admin, would it show that?
Okay, that's something we'll have to check.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Oleg Bunser, under user mailbox info, show us users additional mapped share mailboxes. Okay, so Oleg, you are saying that let's say you have a user mailbox and there is a user mailbox info where you have all the information about that particular user mailbox. You also want us to show additional mapped share mailboxes, as in if they are a part of which all shared mailboxes. Is that the question, Oleg? Okay. Great, Oleg. I think I've understood the question. We do have such functionality in a couple of places, but let me, it does show regular users as well as admin users. Okay, yeah. So Oleg, I've understood the ask. Let me put it in the wish list, and I think this should be doable for sure. Let me see how early we can prioritize. Any thoughts about bringing EXO manageability to Microsoft
I can
Graph?
take that.
Yes, yes, Abhishek.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Brad, for the question. So the V3 module cmdlets, so they are all REST-based. They do not use PowerShell. A couple of months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, we did do a survey to some of Exchange Online customers to ask if Graph was required for them, if the Graph was of urgent need, or if they would prefer if we could expose REST commandlets as APIs, right? When we did that survey, we didn't quite get a lot of enthusiastic response in terms of the need for exposing the REST commandlets, right? So if you could fill this form and also mention some scenarios on how it would help you, we could do some further study, and this would help us prioritize and then make this available faster, right? But the latest commandlets, the V3 commandlets that will be GA, they are on REST. They don't use PowerShell.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. Borin has another question related to it's the visual representation of the missing auto mapping attribute. Okay. So under shows. Okay. So Andres, if I understand, the ask that Oleg was making, which I think I have understood rightly, you are just looking for a visual representation of the missing auto mapping. If you can, talk a little more on that. I have understood the Oleg's message, but I am not able to understand your message, Borin.
Okay, so it was stated earlier that the problem in Exchange Online is that you can't see if the mailbox, if the auto mapping is true or false, like there was the attribute on-prem, which you can find that out. And I think, or what I did understand from the question from Oleg, is that it's just a visual representation in the mailboxes that you can see, this user has this, shared mailbox is auto-mapped. So that will be like the visual representation of that attribute.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Where one of the properties change type. Okay, CQ, Abhishek. Okay. Cool. We have got a lot of wish list items, Abhishek. There's so much more we need to do.
Yes. And thank you. Keep the feedback coming. We love this stuff. Thanks a lot.
Please fill the feedback form, because if we want to understand a little more about the scenario, we will have to reach out to you. You people are the best judge of what we should be working on. Once we have it, possibly if we can prioritize things and things are in preview, we will reach out to you again so that we can get the early feedback as well, right? So please fill the feedback forms as well. Great. Okay, so let me, should I move to other slides, Abhishek, that we have, and we can keep the questions coming?
Yeah, in the interest of time, let's do that.
Okay. So we did make a lot of investments on EAC and manageability. Let me just speak about a few, and then we have, of course, few questions, and we can talk about questions similar to the investment area that we are talking about. So for example, EAC, we did realize from talking to our customers that the page load time, the time that the list was taking to load for the top 3-5 pages that we have, mailbox, resource, contacts, the page load time was not good. We have already worked on it, and the good thing is that the page load time is now less than 2 seconds. There was an issue with the search experience also in these 3 pages. We have resolved that bug as well. We also have increased the, we also have improved the PLT. Once you type in a search query in mailboxes, resources, and contacts. There was one question on message trace again, and that customer reached out to me over an email. I have looped in the right PM there. The question was that message trace performance is not that good, right? So if you have such issues, please write to me. We will add you to the email thread which is already ongoing, and there is a team that is looking into improving the page load performance of message trace as well. There was another issue that people were facing a lot, which was again in mailbox delegation, the shared mailbox experience, and so on. We have already improved that experience. It will reach to you if it has not reached, but we are ready. We have done thorough testing on that. But the mailbox delegation performance has also improved now, and it will reach to you this month for sure. Before we go further onto the next slide, right? We know that one of the biggest ask people have in the OCV, the one customer voice where all your feedbacks come to us, there are people who are facing some performance issues with the new Exchange Admin Center. And we really would love to know what are those scenarios where you are facing those issues so that we can prioritize that and, make that transition from old to new for you better. So I'll take a pause in case people have specific questions on performance improvements on EAC. If you can talk about the scenarios, that would really be great. Okay, how to delete emails bulk from a recent being archived mailbox is full. Using message trace and PowerShell with start date alone. Slide video. Started. Okay, Mohan, the suggestion on the functionality on message trace is well taken. Let me just see. Yeah, so let me connect you with the right PM. You will hear from me, Mohan, for sure. Please fill the form. I will connect you to the right person, and possibly this is already on the roadmap, Mohan. Message trace is a different team, but yeah, we work very closely with them. But I can definitely relay this concern to them for sure.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. On the topic of, I have always been hesitant to remove archive mailboxes once they are provisioned. Keep it out. And more of a workflow for deleting archive where it moves all data out to the prior. Okay. Josie Vance, I think I've understood the suggestion that you have here. Let me put it in the wish list and maybe get back to you once we need to get more clarity there. Okay.
Aditya, this is also, sorry. Yeah, this is also dealt by a separate team. So we will need to connect them here, archiving. So we can relay this to the archiving team, archive mailbox.
Yeah. Abhishek. Okay. Any concern on the performance of new EAC? Are you happy with the way things are working in new EAC, performance wise?
This is Barb. One thing that I have noticed, like when you go to want to add a person to a group and or add an owner, it is slow to return the result of the person you are searching for to add.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Bob. Let me just make a note. Adding an owner and members to different groups is taking a lot of time, as what you are saying. Let me just check that for sure. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Sai, if you are still on the call, this is something which we should look at when we are doing the performance improvement in groups. Great.
Still here. Noted, Aditya.
Yeah. Let me move to the next slide. We also understood, when people were moving from old EAC to new EAC, there is always, this notion that old habits die hard. Old EAC is being loved by so many admins, and we are so happy to see that love, right? And we would love to have that love for new EAC as well. What we understood is that mailbox, resource, and contacts design were not intuitive enough for our users. We have already we already have improved design of mailbox. What we did is now we have 5 pivots, multiple pivots. The arrangement is very similar to classic EAC. That is something that we have already done for mailbox. And by October mid, you will have an improved design of resources and contacts as well. And we have taken inspiration from old EAC itself, so that you don't have to feel lost when you are in new EAC and are working on these 3 features. There was another feedback that we were getting a lot in the feedback surveys that we get, was that the custom attribute experience that we have given in mailboxes is also creating some trouble. We have a new improved design. We are implementing it in resources and contacts first, and then we will get back to changing and making that better design for mailboxes as well. The classic EAC design of custom attribute and the new EAC design of custom attribute will be very similar, and I hope that whatever the team has worked on, the design that we have worked on, would be much more beneficial to you. We also understood on the ease of administration that because there were a lot of features that have moved out of that have moved out of admin center, the exchange admin center. Either they are in MS Purview or they are in compliance admin center and so on. And that's why we invested heavily on global search, which you can see as the search bar on top of the EAC. It is the whole idea of global search is, if you really want to search for, say, spam filter that has moved to compliance admin center, you just type in spam filter and we will take you to the right admin center, right? So that you don't have to remember where that feature has gone. We are also trying to make amends on global search, so that in case, let's say, you are looking for a functionality hide from gal and you don't know where that is. So we are looking to enhance this global search feature, so that you just type in the search and we will take you to the right spot. You don't have to even remember where you have to find it in mailbox, resource, or contacts, and so on. So these are some investments that we have already made. But on design, on ease of administration, if there are any other improvement areas that you people have suggestion on, I'll take a pause here so that we can talk about that. Change in the alias of a contact. Maya, this is not intentional, and it has not been intentionally left out. Once we have this feature parity item in our backlog, I think in a month or so you will be able to do that, Maya, for sure. Can I delete the local archive permanently without waiting the 30 days for deletion? I think, Eric, no, you can't do that, because that's that is the norm that we have taken, that once you delete the local archive, you can't permanently delete it. You will have to wait for 30 days to delete it permanently. That's just a safety check there, Eric. Any more questions on performance? People facing issues in navigating in the admin center, on the design that we have provided in new EAC, if there are any issues there. Abhishek, I hope we are on time.
Yes, we have 2 more slides to go. Yeah, and we have 2 more minutes.
Okay. Oh, okay. So let me just go to feature parity. There are people who are, coming back to us. Somebody in this chat also asked that, okay, how can, I see the quarantine devices? How can I wipe the mobile data? That functionality is soon releasing. On the migration, there was migration from Exchange Online feature that was released 1 week back itself. The skipped item details and migration endpoint functionality, which was available in Classic EAC, is also in the roadmap. And I think in a month or so, these 2 features will also be available to our customers. We are also working on new design for public folder and organization. So those are also the next in line releases. A lot of people do have feature parity concerns. For example, Maya just asked, if that alias of a contact attribute, that thing is also under the parity that we are working on. And if you have more feature parity concerns, please write to us here or over the email or over the feedback, so that we don't miss out on anything. And you have all the things available when the classic EAC gets deprecated. Okay, are there additional plans to move more into the yes. So Monji hints, that's another team, but yes, we do know that whatever top actions that admins are taking, and we do have that data. So there is another team that is working on lighting up more scenarios in M365 Admin Center itself, not only from Exchange Admin Center, but from other admin centers as well, right? So that's another separate team that is working on lighting up these scenarios, and they will keep adding these things month over month. If you will ask me what are those scenarios, I will have to reach out to a partner team of ours. But do write to me. I'll connect. They sit very closely to us. I can connect you with them, and they can help us here. Just to be clear, it's the keep links to for doing specific tasks. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so Jose, the plan in the new EAC is to keep links to other admin center. Yeah, so the idea, Vince, is that we knew that people are facing issues navigating across admin centers, right? For example, retention tags is not going to be new EAC; it's going to be in MS Purview, right? So we wanted to at least help our users go to that new admin center, and they will have to do those specific tasks in that admin center. And we expect that after 5-6 months of using those features in the new admin center, you will know where to find them, and possibly we will possibly you will not even come to other features page anymore, because there will be no need that you will have of that page. But currently it's more for navigation, the way we are helping our customers through global search feature, which is available on top of new EAC. Oh, Manji, this is a great suggestion, having a global look at things based on permission in one admin center instead of so many different admin center. If you check the feedback form, Manji, we have a question on what are the problems that you face just because there are so many admin centers that you might have to visit on a daily basis, right? So do let us know what are those problems that you are facing. We are under discussion of how we can reduce that problem for our customers, but it would be really good to connect with you to discuss this idea further. We do have some mock-ups, but it's in a very initial stage. But yeah, we would love to get in touch with you, Manji. Thank you for this suggestion. Okay, going to manageability infra investment, Abhishek, we have, I think, 1 minute or so if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So I'll keep it quick. On the manageability infra side, the focus for our investments has been to secure and modernize the infra. So with the GA of the V3 commandlets, so these V3 commandlets would be GA on 20th September. These are REST-based commandlets, and therefore they're more secure. They allow you to turn off WinRM basic auth on the client side, which is a great security advantage. And then they're more reliable, they're more performant, and vis-a-vis the RPS commandlets that you've been using so far. Then to add to that, the V1 commandlets, which were the original way of connecting to Power Exchange Online. For this, you need not have to download any additional module. It was bundled with PowerShell. So these, once the basic auth deprecation kicks in later this year, so this would be this would not work for you. So you will need to move to one of the more recent versions of Exchange Online modules. So we've released this GA REST-based module. This is the best, the most secure version. It's better performant, it's more reliable. So please do try this out. And yeah, so that's been our focus. Any new additions that you would like us to improve? What should our big focus areas be? Please do share with us in the form. I will share the link of the form again. I see there's a question for it. Yes, I will share the link for the form again. You have the scanner on each of the slides as well, so you can pick it up from there too.
No,
So that's that.
let's
Aditya, over to you.
yeah. Yeah. No, let's share the link also, Abhishek, so that we can get in touch with
Yes.
Charlene Campbell as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
Will we still be able to use modern Yeah. So Abhishek, the question is, will we still be able to use modern authentication with V3?
Yes, you will. This inherently supports modern auth. Yes.
Great. I know the time is over, but we can, we are happy to be here for a few more minutes in case there are more questions. But, we really want to thank all of you
Yes.
to be so participative. There are so many ideas that have come through this discussion. I know that a lot of my answers were that, please write to me and I will, connect you to the right folks. But, please help me with that much, and I'll make sure that we resolve as many problems as we can of yours. And of course, all the wish items that you have, we will make a note of it. Please fill the form so that we can connect with you in case we need to reach out to you for more clarity there. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.